What's up, everybody? This is Cyrus with Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics, and I have a very interesting post that came up someplace on might have been Reddit, and it concerns the what it's like to describe a color to a blind person. I think it's really interesting stuff and analogous to a lot of the concepts that we talk about. I think on this channel, and actually, it just kind of blows my mind when I think about it. So I hope that you enjoy this post as much as I did. Before we jump into that, I know a lot of people are wondering about the situation with myself and Facebook. And at the moment, so I had a report that my account unghosted itself. And this is a big deal because at this point, I don't even care if I don't get back on Facebook. This is a huge wake up call about getting off Facebook and not having all your eggs in one basket. Is that the correct analogy? I'm feeling kind of stupid right now. The point is that the biggest concern of mine is that I have 4 to 5 years of content on the Afterlife Topics group. You know, original posts, articles, huge threads that I've made over the years, and the idea of all that being lost has been just mortifying. So I got the report that my name has been unghosted. Now, when I try to log into my account, I get this message, which is sorry, something went wrong. We're working on getting this fixed as soon as we can. I don't know what that actually means. But the point is, I've tried to log in the last couple hours, I guess. I have not had any luck. But I'm assuming that this means that they're trying to get me back online. Maybe because I have spent the last, last like 4 or 5 days hounding this feedback submission form, just try to get like somebody at Facebook to recognize who I am and that I need help, and that they incorrectly banned me from the group. I didn't do anything wrong. And of course, I've had no correspondence by Facebook except finally I'm unghosted, which is a huge relief if that's true, because it means that my content is back. Again, I don't even care if I can't get back on my account again. It's just the Afterlife Topics content again be a huge loss to the community and this channel and everything if all of that was deleted. And going through the forums, there was a lot of people who had their account put into this kind of suspension like a year ago. Like they just would never come back to them, never bring the account back. And I was pretty sure I was in that boat. Maybe I still am, but if my account is visible again, it means that my posts are back, my content is back. You can use the search bar in the Facebook group again to find all the old archives, all the old content, and I really hope that that is that's here to stay. So a huge relief if that's possible. Okay, so I've been so stressed out the last week dealing with this Facebook stuff. I haven't really had time to just relax and find some content again for you guys, which is nice or meaningful. So this was kind of a small thing. Thought I'd share it, and as I mentioned, it involves the concept of describing a color to a blind person. Okay, so on metaphysical terms, I've always wondered about this thought experiment because what is a color? What is the color red? And I often say that it's this elemental essence thing, right? So materialists could say that the cones and the rods interpret these things, but it's interpreting it from what? I mean, you could also argue that the color already exists in some way, and that the brain just interprets something that exists externally. But what is it? How do you define it? How come different colors evoke different feelings, a different essence? What does that say about our own existences? What is the essence of a person, of an individual soul? How is that different from a color? I mean, it's something that's unique, and you experience it, and you can experience nothing else like it. Like the color red, if you experience that, has nothing to do with the color blue. And then imagine the concept of colors that you don't even know exist. So imagine that you've never seen the color blue. How do you know what the color blue is? Imagine for a moment that there was a color that doesn't exist, but it represents something that is in nature, or something that is an essence of something, and you're being taught what it is just through sensory perception. Would that be adequate? And is this also a way to think about trying to describe higher dimensions of reality that we don't normally have access to using our normal senses? Very analogous. So let's go ahead and read the post. So it says, I was wondering how you could describe color to a blind person, and I did some research. These were answers from a blind person who was describing how, I guess, maybe his or her caregivers were trying to help them with this process. So the color red. They had me stand outside in the sun. They told me that the heat I was feeling is red. They explained that red is the color of a burn from heat, embarrassment, or even anger. Blue. They put my hands in their pool. They told me that the sensation I felt it was the sensation I felt while swimming. That omnipresent coolness, that's blue. Blue feels like relaxation. Green. I held soft leaves and wet grass. They told me green felt like life. To this day, it is still very much my favorite color. Wow, this stuff, this really was something else when I read this. And isn't that true? I mean, but are these the only ways to describe the colors? Is red always heat? What else is red? Red is passion. Red can also be warmth in terms of like loving warmth, and blue can be relaxation. It can also be uncomfortable cold, but it can also be it can be many other things, I suppose. Green. Is green always nature? Maybe this is green at its core essence, I suppose, especially we know green as it is seen in nature, seen in forests. And isn't it interesting, though, without having access to sight, understanding the essence of something? And I almost feel like this is what we have to do when we try to understand kind of higher dimensional topics. If we cannot process them normally using our normal senses, then how do we describe them? How do we interpret them? Well, I think we have to do something similar to this, don't we? We have to find the essence of what it is and try to focus on that. And that's one way to understand some things which are not easy to comprehend normally. So even if we have limited abilities in some ways, we can still use those limited abilities to try to understand things which we may think of as not being completely understandable. But isn't it just interesting that it's when you think about what sight is to somebody with no sight, and it becomes the way to perceive the essence of things in the universe, and you can come from a core level and understand that essence even without the ability to actually see what it is. So pretty heavy stuff. And I want to know what you think. So this was how to describe red, blue, green. How would you describe a color that's not listed here? How would you describe purple? Right? How would you describe like another like yellow? Yellow, I suppose, would be. I think when I think of yellow, though, I think of the sun, but I don't think of heat. I think of brilliance, and I think of. I don't know. You tell me. So post in the comments below and tell me how you think other colors could be described in this way. I'm very curious to know. And how this also is analogous to some of the stuff we talk about in this channel. Wow. So anyway, so yeah, just really, really cool post. Yeah, this did come from Reddit. And actually, on the same topic of Reddit, don't forget to head to the new Afterlife Topics Reddit page, and that's available right now on, let's see, on reddit.com / just come up here, put in reddit.com r/afterlife topics. Let's load it up. And here we are, Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics on Reddit. Just made this last night. We have 163 members already. Hopefully this will continue to grow. And this will be a more reliable place. So for those of you who don't use Facebook because you don't trust having all your information sold to China, and for whatever reason that you left Facebook, this is a great alternative, so you can still get involved in the great discussions that happen on Facebook. Now you have a different place to do that at. And hopefully I'll be a little bit more active here as well if you want to reach out to me personally or if you have questions. There's already been some pretty interesting threads. There was a thread that just popped up earlier, and it was some not so talked about questions. And so asking about the nature of ETs, the ancient races with the big heads, not to be confused with the cone heads of Saturday Night Live. These are the alleged Lemurians or from planet Tiamat, and also technological capabilities of other dimensions, other planes of existence, of astral worlds. And I made a pretty big answer to this actually. So a lot to talk about. Probably could make it a whole video topic for sure. Probably a whole book. But that's just one thread. Again, interesting stuff, mind-expanding stuff, all available on Reddit. So definitely sign up with the Reddit. You can, once you're on the page, there'll be a big button here someplace like join the group or subscribe or something like that. And while you're here, be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, or sign up as a patron over at patreon.com/afterlife topics. Helps me work all day and all this stuff every day and still be able to feed myself at the end of the day, because I still have to take care of the old physical body, so any help on that level, always appreciated. All right, great. Well, I just wanted to put a little video out there and kind of decompress from some of this stressful stuff that I've had to deal with this week. And hopefully if my Facebook account is unghosted, then it would mean that all that content would be back online. And again, I don't care if I never can get on Facebook again. I just don't want to see all of the Afterlife Topics material disappear. And it's such a bad idea. If you have anything of value on Facebook, if you don't want to lose it, don't just leave it on Facebook. You got to back that up. If you have friends, stick them on an Excel spreadsheet, anything. If you have posts, if you have photos, archive all of that, because it's not reliable. Okay, if I did get my account even partially restored, I'm lucky, because I've been on forums all week hearing people's stories that they never got their accounts restored. They never got a message from Facebook. They just X'd them off the platform, didn't even give them a chance to appeal. They just, got rid of them. And why? Who knows why? I don't know what's, going through Facebook's mind, what the admins are doing or what the algorithm is. Nobody knows what the algorithm is. Nobody knows how they decide to do these things to people. They just, it's almost arbitrary. You can get on a watch list because you're posting the wrong articles on your freaking timeline. If there's some site they don't like zerohedge.com or whatever it might be, that doesn't fit some weird political narrative, then you could end up, in a worse situation than me, permanently banned, disabled, unable to access any of your photos or any of your posts or any of your friends or anything. So don't rely on Facebook. The days of Facebook are coming to an end. We got to use other platforms. We have to use Reddit. We have to use maybe Discord. We have to use minds.com or whatever it is. But I'm telling you, these tech monopolies, we can't give all our power over to them. And man, I think there's some crazy, creepy stuff going on a deeper level with some of these tech giants. And that's a whole other topic, isn't it? But we'll save that for another time. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you guys soon.